Alright, y'all, don't mind the mess. I have just basically moved back into my truck after being out of it for 4 weeks. But anyways, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the channel. We are under my own authority on my first load right now. And I'll tell you what, it feels good, but it has been a rough start. It's been rough. Yesterday was a long day. Nothing to do with my authority, nothing like that. It was just a rough welcome back after 4 weeks off the road. So we'll get into that. But anyways, guys, yeah, I just made myself some coffee. I bought myself, well, I didn't buy myself, we had a coffee pot at the house down in our basement that I think we probably got for our motorhome, and we just never put in there. So I brought the coffee pot with me on the road so I could make my own coffee. So I made some coffee, and we're gonna enjoy that right now. I'm heading down to Atlanta right now, and I'm gonna be late, and that's just kind of part of the start on my first load. I'm gonna be late on my first load. The broker knows it's beyond my control. I hate it, but you know, these things happen. Sometimes sometimes they happen at worse times than you would hope. But it's like I said, your first load under your authority. So I don't know. We'll get there, but things happen. The new coffee maker, a little fancy for my truck, but it works just fine. Works really well, actually. I got myself a nice hot brew of coffee right here, and it tastes fantastic. I got a friend of mine who's jealous about how fast this truck builds air. Of all the things to be jealous of, he's jealous of how fast this truck builds air. Anyway, just waiting here for my 10 hours to elapse so I can do a proper PTI and get back on the road so I can be late for the first appointment of my authority. Still can't believe that, man. Like I said, I called broker first thing yesterday when I realized it was going to be the way it was going to be, and I called him and I left an email, so it's in writing, and they said thanks for letting us know, just do the best you can. So that's what I'm doing, the best that I can. But man, it certainly does make you feel like a failure out of the gate when you make your first delivery late. I'll tell you what, and I haven't even made it yet. Just one of those feelings, you know. Sat in traffic yesterday for almost 3 hours. 3 hours I sat in traffic yesterday in one spot. It took me 3 hours to go 3 miles, but it's just close to 3 hours. And that kind of threw me off a little bit, just a little. So, first of all, I made too much coffee. So let's go ahead and dump this out before we get going down the road. I'm not going to drink enough of my coffee to replenish any. So, yeah, made some dark coffee, I'll tell you what. But yeah, I got to the truck yesterday. The truck had been sitting for about 2 weeks straight. Got to it yesterday, started her, cranked her, fired right up like I just ran it yesterday, you know, or like the day before. So that was good. I was worried about it. I was like, I wasn't sure if it was going to start or not. Just because you always kind of have that in the back of your mind when you park your truck for so long, you always kind of just wonder if it's going to start, because it seems like there's always a battery drain somewhere no matter what you do. But of course, you know, like most trucks, this has the low voltage disconnect, so it'll shut power down to everything and shut power down to the batteries, or you know, if the voltage gets too low, But you might have things that are like connected directly to the batteries that bypasses that low voltage disconnect system. But she fired right up. So that wasn't the problem. Oh, that wasn't the problem. That's not what delayed me. Basically, it was, since we're waiting here anyway for my time to expire, basically it was traffic. The first thing that kind of got in my way was when I got to the pickup, the broker gave me the wrong address. He gave me the address for the old facility for where this place used to be, and I had to figure out where the new facility was, and which I did. Again, I let them know about it, so it was in their notes. But I still got to the new facility on time. I wasn't even late. I got there literally right on time. It was a noon appointment. I got there at noon, so it was literally right on time. They loaded me pretty quick in a half an hour. I was up in Findlay, Ohio, and I got down towards Cincinnati. And I know everybody's going to say, well, of course, Cincinnati, the traffic is always bad going through Cincinnati. And I'm from the area, guys. I know that area. I know how bad traffic gets in Cincinnati. And this was not your average in Cincinnati traffic. I don't know if it had to do with the fact that the bridge for 471 is closed, so there was more of a bottleneck situation going on there. I don't know. But it took me, like I said, almost 3 hours to go from exit 3 to the river, like mile marker 3 on 75 to the river. Typically, even on a bad day, you can get through there in about 20 minutes, even on a bad day, so that's what I expected, was 30 minutes tops. No, it took me almost 3 hours. So I had to, like I said, while I was sitting in traffic, I called the broker and told them what was going on. And like I said, just so it was in writing, I left the broker an email as well, just to cover my butt. And like I said, they said it was, they said, just do what you can. The broker is from Cincinnati. I'm sure you can figure out who the broker is by that point. They're from Cincinnati, so I am sure they understand it. So, but it was just, it's just, I'm a perfectionist. So when my first, I know it doesn't look like it. Who the hell looks like this that's a perfectionist? But being that way with that mindset, your first load, you want it to go down like any average load, right? I can't tell you the last time I was late for a delivery. I really can't. Well, hell, the time before this. What am I talking about? I was in the hospital. That one doesn't count. I had to go to the hospital. Don't blame me for that. I had to go to the dang hospital. But I technically was late by like a day and a half on that one. 2 days. But I didn't even deliver it. Anyway, that's beside the point. Don't count that one. Before that one, I was not, I can't remember the last time I was late for a load that I delivered. But this one, man, it got me. It got the best of me. Like I said, sitting, it was already kind of close because of the appointment time. It had to go from Findlay, Ohio down to Atlanta, over 600 miles. And I had to be down in Atlanta by 11 o'clock this morning. So there really wasn't a whole lot of time to spare, but because they got me loaded so fast, I had about 2 hours to spare. Even taking a full 10, because I wasn't going to be able to do a split the way everything worked out. So even doing a full 10, I had about 2 hours to spare. So I was feeling pretty good. I'm like, I can hit some traffic and still be good. I didn't just hit some traffic. No. So I hit the mother of all traffic, and I'm here at just so I knew I could find somewhere to park, because I got down here so late. I wanted to make sure I could have somewhere to park. If I went any further, I knew it'd be a lot harder to find a place to park. So I stopped at the dog patch in London, Kentucky. So I've still got all the way from London, Kentucky to Atlanta to go yet. So I've got Knoxville and I've got Chattanooga to deal with. And Atlanta probably won't be terrible by the time I get there. But Chattanooga is not going to be, Knoxville is not going to be pleasant. Chattanooga might be, I don't know, we'll see how Chattanooga is. Usually I found with Chattanooga, as long as you stay far to the left when you're going through Chattanooga going south to avoid that 24 split. Or is it 24 there or 26? I always forget. Anyway, no, 24. To avoid that 24 split in Chattanooga, it's always best to stay far left, and then you can usually get through there a little faster. Oh my god, I love making my own coffee. I can make it as dark as I want to. Delicious. Alright, let me put this back in the coffee pot, because I didn't want to go down the road with coffee in here and have it fall out and spill. That would be terrible. Ah, so close. So, hey, focus, dude. Focus, man, you're ruining my shot. Why are you blurry, you son of a gun? There we go. Stop it. Anyway, yeah. So close yet so far. Come on, flip the darn script. Flip it. I want to go on duty. Come on, pretty please, birdie please, birdie please. Yay! B-T-I. Save. Beautiful. Now we can do what we gotta do.
We are dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. Search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. We're dreaming in the dark. We are nothing more than dust. You search but you stay lost. We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too hard. And I wonder where you are. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow. Mysterious, that's the part you always show. 'Cause you're too curious. Maybe you should take it slow.
Well, that's a good sign. They are unloading me. I got here 2 hours late. This is, like I said earlier, the first late delivery I've made in years. Just really, real bummed out. But, you know, I don't like to be late, especially on my very first load under my own authority. But what you do in a situation like this, you keep everybody that needs to know in the know. You let the broker know, you keep them up to date as soon as you can. That way, they don't think you're holding anything back from them if you're late. You know, I was able to let the broker know by yesterday, hey, you know, I'm sitting in traffic. I've been here for 2 hours. It's going to be probably another hour to 2 hours before I'm out of traffic. And so they know, they jotted that down, and I had more traffic today. Just the way the cookie crumbled on this one. So I ended up showing up about 2 hours late. But thankfully, this place will still unload me. So like I said, they put me right into a door. They didn't even mention the fact that I was late. Which is good, because I've got another load to go pick up. And I certainly don't want to cancel on it. Ah, excuse me, I just ate some lunch. So I certainly don't want to cancel on that load. So we are going to finish here. I got about a 60-mile deadhead to the next pickup, and we'll go from there. I've got till 6:30 tonight to pick that load up. It's a first come, first serve, so I'm not too worried about that. It's only about, what time is it? It is only about 1:44, so I've got over 4.5 hours before I got to pick that up. So before I got to be there, it's, you know, ideally, I'm sure I want to get there before that. They probably close at 6:30. But anyway, yeah, so we're getting unloaded, which is a good thing. I was honestly expecting to not get unloaded. But if this had been a grocery warehouse or something like that, then I probably wouldn't be getting unloaded today. But thankfully, it's not a super busy facility, and they got to me. So I'm very grateful for that. But like I said, they're working on me. We'll see how long it takes. But they've already started, so that's a step in the right direction. All right, guys, we're picking up our second load. First one went off real easy. We had no issues, so that's good. Right now, we're at a quarry. Alrighty. Looks like snow out there. Love it. God, it really looks like snow. Yeah, they were having some issues finding the number for this lane. Alright, there's too many flies around here. I'm rolling my window up. But yeah, they were having issues finding the number. But I thought, yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to get loaded. Tell you what, man, it's been an interesting first week with my authority. Yeah, doesn't that look like snow? That's cool. So I'm at a quarry right now in Talking Rock, Georgia. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful country down here. Alright, now we just got to get up here to the other side of this building. It's one dock. And then they will load me up. Going to a pool supply store in Knoxville. But yeah, I was surprised. I got to that delivery in Georgia, or in Atlanta area, and they acted like I wasn't even late. Put me right in the door. I was unloaded in 30 minutes. Couldn't have asked for a better scenario. God, just white. All right, let me see. There's a cat walking across the parking lot. Look at that. Really hard to tell how straight I am here. Zero straight lines anywhere. Alright. Let's go give that forklift operator my paper and they can get me loaded. This right here, proud of that. Gotta disconnect this for now. Let me go make sure I got that set. Oh yeah, we're good. Second load is Karns Family Express getting loaded up right now. Yeah, it's really, like I said, it's gorgeous here. God's country, as they say. Everything's white. I mean, look at the trees. I mean, you can just tell just a collection of dust all over the trees. But like I said, it feels like it's winter. It feels like you're in like a snowy Vermont climate or something. It's weird. I'll tell you what, guys, like I said, this right here, I really can't shout out enough the company that did that for me. They're friends of well, their daughter goes to school with my daughter, my 10-year-old daughter. They're in the same class, and her parents own a automotive wrap business, and they do, you know, business decals, things like that. And obviously they don't know I'm doing this, but they gave us a heck of a deal on the decals for the truck. I'm telling you, they designed them. They walked through the whole process with us on designing them and everything. The idea for the design came from actually a thing that we had on our wall above our TV in our living room, and we kind of worked off of that. But we gave that to them and said, hey, we want it to look like, be something like this, but say, have FE as kind of ghost letters behind Karns for Karns Family Express. And I feel like they really did a good job with it. And, we were expecting a few $100s at least. They did everything for us out the door for $50. And I know that's not regular. That's not a normal rate, but, it really came through for us, I'm telling you. So I couldn't be more happy with how that came out. I think it looks really good on the truck, and to me, it's just kind of a proud moment. It's kind of bittersweet because, man, talk about all the stress I put up with over the last few weeks. And it ain't stopping there. Trust me, I know it ain't. But we'll get her, man. We'll keep on going with it. But it's the start of something that I hope will be pretty great.
You stole my heart of gold after my silver soul. Can you dig any deeper now? I gave you all I own, put you on this golden throne, but I'm a little stronger now. You cashed in on my promises, you know I'm too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out, 'cause I'm done cleaning up your mess. Found myself in my regrets. I've become a little stronger now, a little stronger now. too generous. Now I've learned to never help you out. 'Cause
Well, guys, that about does it for the day. I am parked here in Knoxville, about 10 miles, 15 miles away from my delivery for the morning. I'm at the Petro here of Knoxville. And we'll get this delivered first thing in the morning. They don't start deliveries until 9 a.m. First come, first serve. So we'll get there, get delivered as soon as they let me. And like I said, it was a little bit hairy getting this load picked up. I thought maybe they were going to cancel it because nobody could figure out what I was there to pick up. It was really strange because I got there and the place that I was picking up at there in Georgia, they had just switched over their system. They basically kind of lost the old pickup numbers, but they were kind of in a weird limbo between the old pickup numbers and the new pickup numbers. And the brokers some of the brokers hadn't received the new pickup numbers yet, so the broker didn't know what was going on. The customer didn't know what was going on. They couldn't figure out what I was there for. The broker couldn't find a number that would suffice their criteria. So it was kind of up in the air for about an hour. And then finally the customer figured out what I was there for, and they found the pickup number that I needed, and they got the ball rolling, and the rest is history. So we got her loaded, and thankfully, and like I said, I'm up here in Knoxville, just awaiting delivery in the morning. So like I said, it's been a rough first couple of days, I'll tell you what. Like I said, being late this morning. Now I was lucky when I got there to the delivery in the Atlanta area. They took me right in. They didn't even question that I was late. I was 2 hours late. They didn't even question it. They just let me come right in. That was and they unloaded me in like 30 minutes. That was the first time I've been late in years. And it just had to be the first load that I delivered under my authority. And like I said, it was just unforeseen circumstances. The traffic, I'm from the Cincinnati area, and the traffic was far worse than I've ever seen in that stretch. Just going, on the south side of Cincinnati on 75, trying to go across the river. And I don't know if it's because the bridge is closed because of that fire on 471, and then access to I-74 was also closed. So I don't know, everything was just bottlenecking right there, and that's why it was the way it was. But it took me 3 hours to go about 3 miles in Cincinnati. Just unbelievable. And then of course because of that, just the way that went, I ended up hitting a ton of traffic in Knoxville, and the next morning it was just never ending at that point. And even though the broker gave me the wrong address for the pickup in Findlay, Ohio, I still figured it out, and I still got to the pickup on time. So that really wasn't even a factor. I still got there on time. It was just the traffic was unbelievably heavy. And then, like I said, then today I almost lost this load because they couldn't figure out what I was there for. But we got it. So I've still got to find a load for after that. Loads down in this area are not great. I'm sure y'all know. Really, the only place that's really good right now with loads is my home area. Loads coming out of there are pretty decent. But anywhere else you go anymore, it's just not. But you know what? Some of you might not like this, what I'm about to say, but hopefully with the latest presidential results, hopefully things will get better. That's all I can say. People will have differing views. I might lose subscribers. I don't know. I know I've lost respect for my own father in that regard. It's really sad what politics will do to a family. But I really do believe that things will get better. I've trucked through a Trump presidential term before, and life was a lot better. I was even an owner-operator, for a couple of the final years of the last term, and it was just better. I don't get too political on this channel, but that's just my opinion, and I can't ignore my opinion. You know, it's my channel, so that's kind of what that's. You came here to see me. You didn't come here to see somebody else, so you're going to see my opinions, not somebody else's opinions. That's all I can say. But anyways, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and jump off here, and we're going to get going to bed because I am tired. But you all have a good one out there. Stay safe. Keep surviving to thrive. We'll see you guys all in the next one. Take care.